The cold night air chilled him through, causing the Tom to shiver. He had decided to sleep with the others since he didn't really have a proper sleeping area. A voice would be heard suddenly. "Pearl Star." The Tom jumped and snapped his head upwards to see a shimmering cat staring at him from in a tree. "What are you thinking of? What are you afraid of?" "What? What am I afraid of?" he'd ask, shivering and sitting upright. "Why does StarClan ask me? Don't you know that answer?" The shimmering cat chuckled. "Of course, but there's reasons we ask questions." The figure would jump from where it was, and stars would dance about before the figure would reform and flick its tail for him to follow. Pearl Star blinked and picked his way around the sleeping cats. He'd follow the cat outside and would suddenly feel tall, lush grass tickling his legs. He'd look about in surprise at the sudden scenery change. "Where are we?" "The resting place of someone dear," the cat replied quietly and stepped towards the hill. He'd follow out of respect and curiosity for the one that had died there. As he neared, the cat that sat at the top took the wind from him. His mouth gaped. The StarClan cat would sit off to the side and watch in quiet as the other cat turned to Pearl Star. "Tom, look how you've grown." He was rooted where he stood in shocked silence. His voice came but in a whisper. "Lily." Lily purred and walked to him to give him a welcoming nuzzle. "How's your brother?" Sable Stripe died from an illness. Mightster wasn't able to save him. He didn't have enough herbs. His gaze was filled with questions as he looked at his mother. "Why are you all the way out here?" Her face saddened by the news as if she didn't know. "I see. Mightster brought me here. Honestly, that medicine cat has nice qualities when he wants to use them." She'd chuckle as she turned away and walked to the edge of the cliff. "I understand why." Pearl Star stepped up next to her and looked at a beautiful valley below. Rolling hills of heather and beautiful wildflowers, plus a thriving lake that the water would run off into. "Why?" "He brought you so far away, and he never once told us you passed away," Pearl Star said, wondering why her death had been to be so secretive. "We were busy with so many things in camp and going to talk with StarClan." "He did as I asked," Lily replied, looking at her son. "I didn't want my death to stop you from achieving what you needed to get. Now you are in need of my help." He'd blink in confusion. "I am?" He looked to the StarClan cat that sat there watching. "How do I need help?" "Soon, something will affect you greatly. Soon, you will have no time to judge or think. Soon, your trust in StarClan will either waver or be steadfast. Soon, you will lose it all." Lily said slowly, turning to look at her son. Her eyes glistening with stars as her body began to glow. "Be strong as your namesake, or be shattered from the weight of it all. It's your choice." He'd realized that their time was up. Wait! Lily! He'd bound after her stars that drifted away. I miss you! Rain poured down on the camp. Meister sat hunkered under a bush, staring at the ponds. Pearlstar! Pearlstar jumped awake, startled by the calling of his name. What? No! He'd gasp and blink in confusion as he'd find himself in the camp, his chest heaving as cats looked at him bewildered. He'd obviously just come from a bad dream. Pearlstar, Meister repeated, more calmly, noting the Tom's appearance. Pearlstar looked at the medicine cat, dazed and confused. Huh? Yes? The pond's water levels aren't going down. The ground is getting saturated too much. I'm hoping we don't have a flood, and that the rain's in soon before that happens, the orange Tom explained. Hello everyone, this is Eunalia, and yes, there is flooding happening within the camp. So over here we've got Meister talking with Sablepaw, who is actually curious and interested in becoming a medicine cat, by the way. Tiger Spark is also over here, you know, listening to them. What did Tiger Spark want to do again? Tiger Spark was a queen, and then a loner, and then a rogue, and then a kitty pet. Got it. So, I'm currently looking into, I think Tiger Spark was a female. Yes, it was a female. I don't think she's had any kittens. None. Okay, so anyways, Tiger Spark is over here just kind of chilling out with them, you know, seeing what Sailfall is wanting to talk to Meister about. Meister pointed out to Pearlstar that the pond's water levels are not going down. That the camp is flooding. And yes, it is indeed flooding. They are walking over water and having to sleep on rocks and on logs and stuff, and the logs are, some of them are starting to float. So there is, the prey is starting to run away for higher ground. These kittens are starting to be carried around by their mothers, and the news, there's news that hasn't been told about yet, but all of Pearlstar's clan cats are in dire need of leaving. Echo Paw is over here with Shadepaw, talking about, you know, the rising water, and they're very worried. Mothpaw is concerned, and she's talking to Oakfur. And Pearlstar is talking to Stonekit, that, you know, everything is gonna be okay. Don't worry, you know, surely the water will be falling, be stopping soon. Unfortunately, that's not happening. Saturday is the event, guys. That is in a couple hours, and I've already rolled for it. And it's gonna go on for quite a few days. So we'll have to see how this goes. We've got Spruce Paw over here with Tide Paw and Water Paw. Hail Watcher is looking after her kit, River Kit. Ember Kit's over here as well. Nectar Paw is looking out over the watered ground with Whisker Paw and Dark Paw. They're all looking into, you know, what can be done, but there's really nothing that they can do. The voice of worry about the kittens and such, and the rising of water, and the fish are literally swimming around them. So it's a thing. It's becoming a problem. The medicine cat den is becoming useless now because the herbs are floating away. And I do believe that tomorrow we will see what Pearl Star is going to decide. And these better exception scannings, I'm sorry, the amount of things that I have going on right now. And utils, yeah, utils is... if this becomes an issue, I might have to just disable all of my mods. I think I will. I'm going to. Actually, I need to. I hate that I have to do this just to record anything, but yeah, this is an issue, and I hate this so much. So yeah. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so hopefully this is gonna stop all the crap that's happening right now. So Lost Paw is playing with Moth Paw just to get their mind off of things. I need to see how long these 93 days. Okay, good. Echo Paw, 93 days. Mistare, 93 days. Oh no. They're all 93? Oh wait, no. They're not. I don't have... Crap. Oh no! Oh my god, okay. This is just bad. This is so bad. Okay. Well, I'll be right back. I've run into an issue. Okay, so I changed the ages of the kittens. I changed the ages of the apprentices and / adults. So now everything should be as it is. 75, good. Shade Paw, 118. What the? That's not right. Game options. Gameplay. Long, normal, apply. Okay. So now 56. Yes. That's good. Awesome. So now we've got these kittens, but they're going to be at 17 days. Indeed, it's 18. Okay, so this is working fantabulous. And now we go 36 for Oakford. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so All of this is working now. Oh my god. Oh god, this has been ridiculously hard to even do. And I just now realized that I canceled a mod that I actually did need to not get canceled. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry. Okay, anyways, so we've got all of these cats that are coming over here. Everything, all of the stuff is everything's floating. Everything is floating around them, and they are not happy. So they're all of the cats are worried for the kittens, and all of the prey is gone. So they are going to eat what they can, or what they have left, and yeah, so Might Stairs over here with Dark Paw. Nectar Paw is needing to play, so I think Nectar Paw, where is Nectar Paw? Nectar Paw is there, so Nectar Paw, that's not a good name for you, Nectar Paw. Really? Y'all are probably like, you know, wondering why I'm doing this and why I decided to like change it all. I've been wanting to. I just haven't had the names to do it with. And then I think that's all the names I want to give them. Lion Paw can keep theirs because Lion Paw is a lion. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, so that's about everything. So we're just gonna let the day go on. We're just gonna let them interact with one another and stuff like that. We've got Hill Watcher playing with Stone Kit. Holly Paw is playing with Water Paw. And we've got oh my gosh, we got Scorch Paw, Tide Paw playing. There's just so many things going on right now. We got Roach Paw and Hornet Paw. I've never seen these cats play before. Never. Tide Paw. Let's see, Bay Paw and Water Paw. Wait, Holly Paw. You're pouncing on Water Paw? Oh, okay. I wonder what has the cat so playful, honestly. Dark Paw's gonna come over here and play a Bay Paw? Aww. Look at that. Bay Paw's not really into it, though. This is so cool to see them! Lion Paw is gonna come and pounce on this one. This is so cool. I'm so glad to see this. Aw, Hill Watcher and everyone else is having a nap. Who just left? Did someone just leave? Okay, so... Oh, they're coming to nuzzle. Pansy Paw's nuzzling. Aww. And then this is happening. Water Paw is pouncing on Lion Paw? It is Lion Paw. Well, I'm glad everyone is being friendly. That's a very big surprise to me. Roach Paw, Bay Paw, Pale Watcher, and Oak Fur. I think everyone is trying to reassure one another. Snake Kit over here is being played with by Beetle Paw. So if anyone is trying to hunt, I'm gonna have to stop them because they can't. Sprayer for bugs. Oh man. Bay Paw's having a nap. Dark Paw's over here with her. Mind Stare is having a clawing or something. Sporch Paw and Pearl Star. Holly Paw's sad, upset. Cobra Paw is talking to Oak Fur. And Cat's having a nap. Cobra Paw. Get comfortable. Todd Paw's coming over to talk to Cobra Paw. Hornet Paw, what are you wanting to do? Pounce on Lion Paw? No, that's not Lion Paw. Who are you pouncing on? Maybe it was Lion Paw, actually. Pearl Star's right there. Everyone's sleeping. And I know that they're all, you know, slaying on the ground and stuff, but they're not really. I would say that they are all, up in trees, up on rocks, things like that. Alright, we gotta make sure we got our tree spirit fed. So let's let her come over here. Absorb solar energy from these plants. Beetle Paw? Okay. Beetle Paw's in labor. I was not expecting this. And Dark Paw is in love. I'm gonna roll for Dark Paw. Dark Paw is not quite yet ready for romance. Let's see. Dark Paw, where are you, Dark Paw? 56 days. She's only been an apprentice for 1 day. So once that gets to 37? Yeah, once it gets down to 37, she'll be ready to be an adult. Okay, so she is going to be, well, that's interesting. Alright. So I'm just gonna let her mate whoever she wants to mate with, basically. Alright, we're gonna see how these kittens are gonna come out. Now, these Beetle Paws kittens are Pearl Stars. Beetle Star? Beetle Paw? She didn't have any kittens. She lost the kittens. What? I got no idea why she doesn't have any kittens. Huh. Alright, everyone is gathered around, which is surprising to me, honestly. And, well, this is gonna be very rough, you guys. So, give me a moment. The nursery wasn't safe anymore, and the queens gave a cry for help. Pearl Star noted that the water from the ponds and within the camp hadn't gone down and had only risen. Whisperclan! He yelled as the cats were gathered to help with the kits. We evacuate for higher ground! Where? Came the cry from Hale Watcher as she followed the apprentices that had her two kits. Might Sarah would leap up into a tree and give a cry for all to look at him. We go north! I know the way! Follow me! The Orange Tom would splash down as he'd land in the water and help with carrying a kit, whom he took up at Crimson Kit, while Lake Whiskers took Ginger Kit. The cats splashed through the water as it rose higher and higher, with the falling rain. As they came to an area of swift currents, Mightster would see the dangers of the flooding. The river being close to them wasn't helping things. Turn back! We need to get past the river! The Toe-Leg Bridge! Yelled Shadepaw and pointed with his tail. The cats would see the rushing river currents hammering the Two-Leg Bridge. Mightster would beckon them all forth. Let's go! The cats would start to feel the need to swim as the water rose more while they traveled. Suddenly, a low spot held a swift undercurrent that wasn't seen by any of the cats, and some got swept away. Waterpaw was the first to Waterpaw was the first to get taken, drowning yowls of fear as he was swiftly taken from the clan. Help! Help! Waterpaw! Yelled Shadepaw. Oakfur went in after the she-cat to save her and fought the current. He'd reach her, but it was too late, and the two would be taken somewhere out of sight. Both could be heard yowling. Mightster tried his best to navigating the flooding, but it was getting harder as most were now almost swimming. Cats abandoned the trip to the Two-Leg Bridge and began climbing trees. The cats were safe for the time being, but within several hours, cars and other debris were rushing in, striking the trees or snapping limbs. or taking out the entire tree. Mindstare watched as cats were taken by the debris and sucked away by the rapid churning water. The next morning, the water had calmed, but it was still flowing quickly. It was at half its height. Mindstare watched as cats were taken by the debris and sucked away by the rapid churning water. The next morning, the water had calmed, but it was still flowing quickly. It was at half its height. Cats shivered and clung to their branches, while kits yowled hungrily for their mothers. No one could reunite them at the moment. Mindstare looked around to see Pearlstar gone. His tree had been washed away. Lake Whiskers was gone. Baypaw, Fidgetpaw, Darkpaw, and Nectarpaw were all gone as well. Mindstare remembered that Lake Whiskers had Gingerkit. He looked to see Gingerkit with a partial damp Pumpkin Storm, Bramblekit, and Lostpaw. The kits were barely hanging on, as were the mothers as the third day came. The water had significantly lowered, allowing the cats to climb from their trees and see the damage. All of Whisperclan was destroyed. Their ponds filled with mud and trees, and the entire camp looked indistinguishable. There came a yell. "Pearlstar!" Mindstare turned to see the cats dashing towards a half-recognizable figure that was Pearlstar. Covered in mud, the cat limped through the destruction before collapsing with exhaustion. Mindstare would give him a look over. He'd lost a life for sure, and was recovering. Pearlstar. Pearlstar coughed and wheezed, water in his lungs. "Is there anything left?" Mindstare would shake his head. "There's nothing." "What about?" Pearlstar began to ask and stopped. If she'd been alive, she would have been there with him. There's nothing here for us, and the nature spirit is... Mindstare wasn't sure where the nature spirit had gone, but she hadn't been seen at all. The woods looked quite bad. The two legs were out roaming about, looking for their survivors. What was left of Whisperclan was gathered together and having a moment of sharing tongues. Pearlstar looked at the few remaining and knew it was time to get more serious. StarClan had spared them for reasons that none of them knew. "Whisperclan!" Pearlstar spoke and had a coughing attack. Once his coughing had stopped, he'd weakly pull his head up. "I know there's nothing left. It's time we went to the other areas of the territory. Allow the place to regrow and to heal." The cats would agree. They would slowly follow Pearlstar and Mindstare to the next place of territory. Things had been rough for the cats. Making nests and hunting were the main tasks of the survivors. Mindstare had to look for herbs, but he hadn't been finding much, if nothing at all. Temperatures were falling, and soon Leaf Bear would be upon them. Also, it hadn't really helped when the she-cats had given birth to new kits a few months after arrival. Mindstare would look in on the kits and the new queens to see they were all good. Pearlstar was slowly regaining his strength. The kits and apprentices would help out wherever they could, though. The kits would find something else to do that amused them. Pearlstar watched as the new kits would play with one another, as the mothers would relax or share tongues. Something within him twisted uncomfortably as he watched the kits. He never felt this before. and he had no way of putting that name to it. Then, on top of having the worst luck in hunting and trying to find herbs, Stone Kit finds 3 kits that were abandoned. Pearl Star takes them in as his own and has Hail Watcher to raise them. Hail Watcher couldn't say no to the order since it dealt with 3 tiny lives. She would name them Shell Kit, Raccoon Kit, and Sea Kit. Hail Watcher was also pregnant with Pearl Star's future kits, so there was a lot on her shoulders. Pearl Star was losing a lot of his warriors to bad kitting, though. Might Stare had been working hard to provide herbs, but it just wasn't enough. He'd watch as queen after queen, along with their kits, passed away. Between illness and starvation, Might Stare could only watch as more and more kits passed away, unable to cure them. Hail Watcher mourned the loss of her beloved Stone Kit, while Tansy Paw mourned over Ember Kit. The queens were doing their best to keep their kits alive, but the lack of food and the illnesses had hit hard. Pumpkin Storm and Raccoon Kit died of their illnesses. Pumpkin Storm had left behind her kits, whose father wasn't in the clan. Pearl Star was quite sick with the yellow cough. Might Stare had gone out into the first snowfall in search of herbs. Due to the first snowfall and the dropping temperatures, the newborn kits and the kittens, without mothers, struggled to keep warm. Unfortunately, all of the kits perished. Pearl Star lost a life due to the illness he was fighting. Waterpaw, Grouse Kit, and Skimmer Kit died from their illnesses as well. Might Stare searched and searched for herbs and actually came out fairly well. There seemed to be a small abundance of growth happening due to all the rainfall. Looking through the herbs he'd gathered, it slowly came to him that there wasn't much of anything he could still use. He would have to go seek out help from another clan. Would they accept him, though? He'd not seen another clan around other than Whisperclan. Might Stare went to Pearl Star to see his health had been getting worse. Hold on, Pearl Star. I'm going to go find his help. Pearl Star wheezed and had a round of coughing, but couldn't say anything more. He'd collapsed, too weak to do or say anything. Might Stare would pass the toms that were left. Look after the clan. Don't go near Pearl Star. I'll be back with help. The toms would look surprised by this. Might Stare leaving to go get help? Had he met his match with the burden of being unable to save the clan? Might Stare left and traveled about, searching for scents of other cats that could belong to a clan. He searched and searched, finding stale scents, but he did eventually find a clan scent. He'd follow the scents and find the clan camp. There didn't seem to be a lot of cats. In fact, there were only a few. He was outnumbered, though, and had to be careful. He'd purposely announced himself, which caused all of the clan to come streaming out of their dens with growling and hissing. This had been a facade, and all of the cats would glare at the orange tom before the leader spoke. "Why are you here, rogue?" It took him back a bit, as the term hit him. He hadn't been called a rogue in a while. "I'm no rogue," Might Stare replied, dipping his head. "I Might Stare, the medicine cat of Whisperclan. We are in dire need of help. I don't have the herbs to save my leader, who has yellow cough. My other cats are sick as well. Nothing has gone right since we moved to a new territory. Our other one got destroyed by the flooding. That storm was awful, voiced a blue-gray Tom. We lost a lot of cats ourselves from it. Quiet, growled the silver-furred tabby she-cat, as she'd narrow her eyes at her own cat. She'd look to the medicine cat of her clan. What are your thoughts, Willow Mist? The gray she-cat called Willow Mist would look the orange Tom over. He's riddled with fatigue and heavy loss. He means nothing ill towards us. I'll help where I can. The silver-furred tabby would nod to her medicine cat and turn to the orange Tom. You're in luck, might stare of Whisperclan. We normally don't help other clans, but she's made an exception. Might Stare dipped his head to them in gratitude. Thank you. I can't bear to watch them die like I have been. We have very little, if nothing at all. The cats of the clan would gather the herbs and follow Meister back to Whisperclan, where the medicine cat would get to work on healing the sick cats. Meister would help where he was needed, but he'd sit there just watching. Willow Mist was the real thing. She was an actual medicine cat that was very experienced. He wanted to learn more from her, as he felt jealousy strike him